Sex Education just came out yesterday with a new season. Uh, yeah, this show. When I first saw the first season of the show, I was like, oh, one of those teen comedies, blah blah blah, and it seemed funny. I was like, let me give this show a chance. And I saw the first season, and I was like, that was pretty good. It didn't delve into any emotional, like deeply emotional shit too much. It was more funny than anything, and it had a good cast of characters. That was the thing that I liked about the show in the first season. Now, when the second season came around, that's when the show decided to delve into. I'm not saying this first season isn't serious because it dwells into some serious stuff, but it's not until the second season that you really get like a lot more seriousness. You get depression. You get talks of gays and queers and how they deal with things, about people who are kind of different. I always said depression, suicidal thoughts, hurting yourself, sexual assaults. Uh, I keep forgetting that character's name. Let me get my OBS out of here. I keep forgetting that character's name, but this one right here, the Maeve's best friend, she gets assaulted in a bus. Uh, you know, you have to deal with Eric's stuff and how he is dealing with being free in the world while having his family not support him completely. Not that they mind that he's different, but they don't want him to get hurt because they know how the world is. Uh, I think the most normal person in the entire show, the one that has the least amount of problems, is the actual star of the show. Uh, you know, freaking uh, wow, Milburn. I keep forgetting the first names. I don't know why. Yeah, I would say he's like the guy with the least problems or the least complicated problems. Because you got guys like Adam dealing with depression and the fact that he wants to also try to be free and be who he really is. You got her, which why am I not getting this photo in HD? Can somebody explain this to me? I want HD stuff. Okay, can I get HD? No, no HD for me. Anyway, yeah. So I would say that the star of the show is the one who's dealing with the least amount of problems when it comes to like in the second season. His biggest problem is that he gets erections all the time. That's his biggest problem. Uh, and Jackson is dealing with thoughts of hurting himself, and that tends to lead to suicidal thoughts. Right? That's how it always starts. You always start hurting yourself. And in the second season, he puts his hands under a weight, and it pretty much shatters his hand. She gets sexually assaulted. Adam is trying to deal with the fact that he's uh, not straight, but he has a father that wouldn't accept him that way, and he has this self-destructive behavior that he wants to move out from. Maeve has been through a lot of stuff with her family, and she's been through a lot of stuff in her life, and uh, so she has plenty of problems to deal with. Jackson with his suicidal like the least. I mean, the first season. Uh, he really the star of the show, Milburn. He really doesn't have many problems. He's just a weird. He's just a kid who's trying to fit in, who's trying to get out of his shell, and make a girl like him. In the second season, he just gets erections, and in this season, by the way, I love this guy in the show. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that of all the people, of all the serious themes, he's the one that's mostly, for the most part, just not really like affected very much with the serious themes. His mother's going through now okay, she's going through a second pregnancy at a very later age. Uh, this one is trying to find herself as well. I keep forgetting her name as well. I think her name is oh wait, Lily. Yeah, Lily. I remember. Lily is kind of having a kind of in the third season, kind of being really like, can I be accepted? Can I be who I am and get all the scrutiny and take all this stuff, or should I just be like everybody else and just do my thing? Uh, Maeve is dealing with the fact that she's in love with Otis, and she likes Isaac, and she has problems with her family, and she's also trying to go forward in life, but she doesn't have the money to do it. Viv, Viv is just trying to. Viv, for the most part of the season, I was mad at her, but then by the end, I was like, okay, cool. She's cool again. Ola doesn't get a lot of screen time. She's pretty much just dealing with the fact that her most emotional moment was with her dad in the hospital talking to Jacob. And that was a good emotional moment. But for the most part, it's her fitting in with the new life with Otis, trying to see if they can all live together as a family. Isaac, I fucking hated this guy. And they did something here to make us like him, and it kind of worked. Because he was kind of a dick for what he did. I got it, you like Maeve, but come on, man. Respect. You gotta respect privacies. And then in this season, he fessed up to it willingly. It's not that he could have just gotten away with it. And life would have been great, and he would have had Maeve completely for him, great. But no, he actually really fessed up, and he did something cool. And I like him for it. Yeah, I like him now. I like him. And it's a great cast of characters, and it's really not just some teen romance comedy. At least for me, not anymore. The first season, you could be like, yeah, it's a teen romance comedy, sure. But the second season really dwelled into some heavy shit, and then the third season capitalized on that and kept going with this. And the whole sex school thing, it's pretty much just a subplot, with the whole new headmaster trying to make the school like a fucking prison instead of an actual school. And yeah, it's really good. But then this third season just had so many problems with the character. Like, everybody was down and about. At least at some point, everybody was fucked. Like, Viv, like I said, she was being a dick just to get by. Lily, she was out of it. She didn't want to be herself. She wanted to change. Ola was just fighting with her, and their relationship was dwindling. She was fighting with Isaac, and May was kind of weird with him. Then his mom was fighting with Jacob, and Jacob was fighting with her. And I think that child isn't even Jacob's. Like, I don't remember if they ever, like, talked about it. But when she gets the paternity test, and she's like, oh shit, so what does that mean? I don't know. And then this girl and her boyfriend, I don't know if they end up breaking up, but the whole season she's acting like he has like a virus. Obviously she was sexually assaulted, and that takes a mental toll on you. And maybe she doesn't trust anybody anymore. But, he seemed like a good guy the whole way through. And he's been with her before the assault and after. And he's, I guess, waited for her to be better, and he's even talked to her like, hey, are we still a thing? Like, what's going on? Like, he's been a really good character, like a really good guy, and she just treats him, I got it, she was assaulted, that happens. But, I don't know, that was kind of weird how she keeps treating him like trash. Jackson didn't have much to do this season. He pretty much acts as, like, the guy who wants to make the school better for indigenous and minorities and queer and transgenders, and he wants the school to be more open, and he wants the school to keep being the school that it is, an open school for everybody. Obviously but the thing is, with that being said, there's so much slut shaming and so much bullying in that school that still the school needs to change. It's not perfect. And then he falls in love with somebody who I believe is queer, and they have a few new characters that are transgenders, and they explain some of the things that they have to go with. I think in the last episode, one of the characters, I forgot her name. She's, I think, the first American character on the show. She has like this top that kind of conceals her breasts a little bit. But then there's another character who uses like bands, and then at the end she explains that she used to do that too, but then she like broke a rib, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And then Adam's and Eric's relationship was going so well. And Adam even admitted to everybody at school that he was gay. So I was, okay, so he's moving forward. He's not going as fast as Eric. I mean, Eric is, or Eric just wants to, like he says in a moment in the show, he just wants to fly. And Adam is still kind of like walking. He's still getting there, but he lets him put makeup on him. He just hasn't told his mom. That's pretty much it. But everybody in school knows. And then Eric does this stupid thing where he kisses somebody else who's, when they're on Nigeria, who is as free as he is, but he still has to conceal it because they live in Nigeria. It's illegal, supposedly, in Nigeria to be gay. And I'm like, why would you do that, bro? And I kind of hated Eric at that moment. I was like, come on, man. Adam is a complicated dude, but he's getting there. And by the end of the season, Adam is like so messed up. I don't know what's going to happen with him in season 4. But he was going so well. He was such a cool dude. He was hanging out with Otis, and they were like a little gang, and they would all be on their bikes together, and they would all hang in school. And I was like, what's going to happen now with that character? Like, he was one of my favorite characters. He was really progressing and talking about his feelings. Man, and they just, they shot him in the face. Anyway, it was a really good season, man. It was actually a really good season. We finally get the Maeve and Otis kiss after 3 seasons, guys. Jesus. He finally tells her how he feels, and she's with Isaac, obviously, so she's confused. She doesn't know what she wants to do. I think in episode 7, she admits to him. She doesn't say, I love you, but she's like, I did all those things so I could be with you also. They kiss again, and you're like, great, this is going great. There's one more episode left. Happily ever after. No! Denied. She's like, I gotta go, do me. I'll see what happens when I get back. Peace. And she's out of there. And I get it, I can't hold anything against her. Because it's like, she's trying to progress in her future. If she stays in whatever the fuck town they live in, she's not going to go anywhere. She's going to be working in some pizza place for the rest of her life. So she needs to get out there and pursue her opportunities. She's the smartest character in the entire show. And Otis he's not dumb. He's smart, definitely. But Maeve is like 300 IQ. She's really she's a brain. She is going to ascend. Otis is going to be something great in the future because he's not a dumb character. Because he's the son of a therapist and he's also a therapist, I guess. So he's probably going to be a doctor one day, but Maeve is going to be like a scientist or like a president, something, because she has the smarts. She has that capacity. So she goes to America to pursue her dreams and study for a couple of months. I think it's for the summer season. It's not like she's going to stay there. It's like a program. But then they just give us the happiness and they tear it away. And I really actually liked the Ruby and Otis romance. I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. Because Ruby was advancing as a character. She was kind of a dork. Not a dork, a bitch. Or a dick. I would say a dick. But then Otis kind of started peeling that facial stuff. He started peeling that away, and she started coming out of that, privileged shell that she has in school. And she really became kind of a cool character. But I get it. She's never been in a formal relationship. And Otis started doing things for her that nobody's done before. And I guess she thought that she was in love with him since these things have never happened to her. Or maybe she really did feel like she was in love. But Otis never got there with her. He was just being a good guy. Right? He was just being Otis. And she's never been with somebody like that. Everybody who's been with her, smash and go. But he wanted to smash and stay. He wanted to smash and I don't know how to phrase it. He wanted to smash and stash. Smash and hang. I don't know. He wanted to be in a relationship. He wanted to get to know her personally. And like a normal relationship, he really liked her. He obviously, she's really pretty. And pop, but he never got to the love part. Obviously, he was still hung up on Maeve. But I would imagine that with time, he would have gotten out of that show too, because it's high school. You fall in love and you have crushes all over the place. But him and Maeve have such a great relationship that it's only right if they end up together. But here's the thing. Here's my rating. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 for season 3. Really good season. Really good characters. They delved into some serious stuff. They finally gave us the Otis and Maeve kiss. All the characters have bumps, and they get to a low point, and then they get back up. I think I would say the most underused character was probably Ola this season, or Jackson. They needed more screen time, in my opinion. I really love those characters. But, this show is not going to end with them being together. Something tells me that with this opportunity to go to America, she's probably going to get a scholarship somewhere, and she's probably going to leave. And I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to end up together. Obviously, the big thing would be that, have a time jump, and then she comes back home to work as whatever it is she studied, and then they find each other again in the future, and they're like, hey, I remember you, and then, yeah, hey, we used to be star-crossed lovers, and then you left, and then I'm here. And I think it's going to be something like that. I don't know if this next season is going to be the last one. I hope not. But I don't think that these two individuals are going to end up as a couple. Yeah, they're going to always love each other, but I think one of the things that makes the show kind of interesting is the fact that they can never really reel that in completely. There's always something in the way between them. So I guess they're going to finally, figure it out. Like, hey, maybe we can't be together. There's always something happening. You do you, I'll do me, and maybe one day, if we ever find each other again, we'll do what we have to do and we'll be together. Or maybe they'll end it in a good way and they'll find a way to make them be together. I have an idea for season 4, though. Let me see if I have enough. How much have I been recording? 17 minutes. I have an idea for season 4. I'm sorry that you're watching all these different shows, but see, I watched this. By the way, this show came out yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna binge the shit out of this. Watched all 8 episodes back to back. I hardly even got up out of the bed. I made myself a sandwich and I came back to bed. And I have an idea for season 4. I want season 4 to be something like she goes to America, right? And maybe 2 months, maybe she's there for 4 months. And maybe in a month, Otis goes to visit her, right? And when he gets there, obviously Maeve isn't with Otis. They're not in a relationship. So she meets a guy there, and she likes him, and maybe they have sex, or whatever the case is. And when Otis goes to visit, he sees her with him, and he's like, whoa, wait a minute. I told this girl that I loved her, and then she's already with other guys. Maybe it doesn't mean the same for her or to me, because Otis seems like a one-dude girl. But obviously Maeve, you can't tie down Maeve. You can't tell her what to do. She's that type of character. And she has no type of obligation to Otis, because they're not in a relationship. They never said, okay, let's be together. No, they told their feelings to each other, but they're not together. But maybe Otis goes to America to visit her for a weekend, and then he sees her about to have sex or being sexual with somebody else. She sees him, he runs away, he goes back home. She has to say because of her studies. And Otis comes back home, he tells Eric, his best friend, about it. Blah, 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 that happens, and then he leaves. Otis just leaves. Obviously, the school's going to close, so you could do a whole thing where for a few months the school is closed while Otis is gone, and then the students try to rile up. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they're really going to close down the school in the next season. And the students do a whole march, and the whole country helps them because of what they saw on the news, and then they reopen the school again. And they make it a really sexual educational school system that really focuses on that. That'd be really funny. And then Otis comes back when the school reopens, and then everybody's like, "Whoa, this kid was missing." And maybe Otis tells his mom, "Hey, don't look for me. I'm not gonna be in danger. I just need some time." And then maybe Otis meets a girl in that week that he's back from visiting Maeve. And it's an older woman, and she's like, I'm just a visitor, I'm leaving soon. And then maybe Otis leaves with that person. I had this whole epiphany on the next season. I don't know. I'm not a writer, but just character development for Otis, please, because he's still like this raunchy teenager. He needs to like get out of that. And he leaves for the few months that the school is closed, while Maeve comes back when the school reopens, when her program ends. You have a montage of Otis going around the country with this woman, learning how women actually think and why Maeve did what she did, because she wasn't tied down. She wasn't Otis's property or anything, so it's not like, and Otis understands, like, okay, so I understand, blah, 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 because he's with an older woman, and he can kind of, like, ascend as an adult and be a little bit more mature instead of this, like, raunchy teenager. And he could come back and everybody would be, when he gets to school, maybe he has, like, a motorcycle. He's a really cool dude now, okay? Character development. And you have, like, a montage of him going around the country with this woman, and then he comes back home, and Era's like, you asshole, you left. You didn't even say goodbye, and you have this whole thing with him and Maeve finding each other again, and maybe Maeve comes home before he does, and maybe everybody kind of blames her, because Era can't shut up. He tells everybody everything. So maybe he tells people that, Otis left because Maeve broke his heart, and then everybody, when she comes back, everybody's looking at her like, it's because of you that kid disappeared. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be a pretty fun plot. I don't know why I came up with all that, and then for the montage, just put this song on by Alex Murdoch called "All My Days" of him leaving. And then he comes back in the motorcycle, and then he sees Maeve with this song. I'm literally writing your season for you. It was just an idea, honestly. But yeah, it was a good season. I can't wait for season 4. And I'm going to have to wait, 2 years? 2 years? Thank you for coming to our original channel. If you did, I really do recommend this show. The first season is more over the raunchy, romantic teen comedy. The second season really dwells into some really serious shit. And then they capitalize of all that serious shit. They take it and they put it in the third season. I don't know why Otis in this poster, he's on the far right side. Why is he not here or next to Maeve or something? He's the main character of the show. Alright, whatever. Thank you for coming to our original channel. I appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.